the image was particularly, again, from nature, trying to use elements that you might find in a real forest, and the thought of Titania sleeping as a caterpillar, bound in silk, almost in her own cocoon, floating up in the trees between two branches. And also allowing her to truly kind of hover above the space, and for her to disappear, so that in the next scene, when the mechanicals come on, we almost forget she's there. And actually, I have to say, in technicals, we often did forget she was there. Poor Amanda was up there for hours and hours before we realised that, oh, it's Titania's still asleep. So she has her own world that can float above the rest of the world. And the decision, the shape of the cocoon, and then the floating of the cocoon was to do with, again, just trying to give a sense that you weren't quite sure how it was flying, how it was floating. You couldn't see wires flying above it. It was the bent, almost hammock-like shape that was created by these two arms of metal that would support it. If you light it in a certain way, you won't see any of that. It's just as if it's under its own power, can float. So it's a technical choice, again, as much as it is any other choice. It's like a magician trying to work out how to do some tricks, really. It's the same process. You just have to think what you call outside the box. You have to think in a different way to try and solve what in the end is a very simple problem.